And welcome back to our final episode, season 1, episode 6. Final episode, the final conclusion, the grand finale. And we have the perfect person to finish off our grand finale because she's frequently on Zoom. I just love seeing these two images of me. Boy, you can't. One of me is enough, isn't it? Let alone two of me back
You
there.
like you could be an announcer for Fox News or CNN.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jerome?
You look like you could be one of the anchors for CNN or Fox News, okay?
You know what I can do? I can mute Jerome. Look at that. Isn't that great? The power. Hey, look at the cute little doggies. Oh, I actually got this tie back in 1995 from a customer in Boynton Beach, Florida, and I've had it ever since. It's lasted this long. Yeah, it's cute. It's got all this. But anyway, so back to our last final session here. We are pleased to announce that we have, obviously many of you know, and if you are a little newer to Zoom, I noticed we had some people that registered that we normally don't have. So this is really exciting. And before you play your final song when you're done with your class, Dawn, I just got a couple quick announcements, so just keep that in mind. So with that said, no more talking for me. I'm going to turn the spotlight over to Miss Dazzling Dawn.
Yay!
Oh, you guys are awesome. Yep. Okay. We better get right into this. Like I said before, I love what Jerome and Robert did today. I love what everybody did. But just having those right before mine, talking about presets, and oh my goodness, thank you to whoever printed up this sheet, because I am going to borrow it. This is the one thing that people ask me about all the time is exactly how do you save to the stick? And it's perfect. So thank you for that. I'm going to play an opening song, and it's one that we don't hear very often, and it uses the pizzicato strings, and it's actually in song setup. It is called Holiday for Strings.
Very nice.
All
Very
right.
Woo!
Holiday for Strings. We don't see that one very often anymore, but it's in there. It's in your song setup, so have fun with it. The two songs that I have chosen for today is Christmas in Dixie. Christmas in Dixie was actually a 1982 song by the American country band Alabama. And in 2017, they updated the song by recording an unplugged version for their third Christmas album. The original version spent 7 weeks on the charts, peaking at number 35, and then it re-entered the charts 3 times between 1997 and the year 2000. Kenny Chesney actually covered it in 2003 on his album called All I Want for Christmas Is a Real Good Tan. This must have been living in Florida. I am going to do presets, and for those of you that have my preset sheets, the one that just says Christmas and Dixie presets, that's for all the A organs, the marquees, the A organs, the imperials, the sterlings, the marquees, grand marquees, the E organs, the big window stuff. But while you're on this page, pull that page out. A1, I forgot to put one step. Oh boy. So fill it in. A1, everything that you see here you have to do, but then at the bottom of A1, you're going to write edit style, turn off orchestra +2 and orchestra +4. I realized that when I was actually putting this in here. And when you get to A4, you're going to turn them back on. Well, how can you turn them back on if you haven't turned them off yet? So you have to do that in A1. A1 is always the longest one. Now, for those of you that have fanfares and journeys, okay, you've got the easy one set up there. So as long
All
as
right,
you
so
got,
real quick, what sheet is it? This one here?
no,
Next
it's the last one.
Last one? Oh, this
Yep,
one.
that one. You have to
Okay,
put
what do you
edit
need it to
style.
do? Let me just text it here. What do you need it to say?
At the end of A1, the next step, the last step they have to do is edit style, turn off orchestra +2 and +4.
Turn off
Turn off
orchestra.
orc +2 and +4. That's it.
That goes under A1?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Does it
Thank
go
you.
up here? Is that better up there? Or does it matter? Just as long
Doesn't
as
matter, just so it gets done.
Okay.
Yeah, just so it gets done.
Orc +2 +4. It sounds like an equation when we're giving you a price
Yes, it
to buy
does.
an organ.
And remember, these setups that we give you, they're not necessarily the world's greatest arrangement, but it gets you pushing the buttons on your instrument. That's what this is all about, is to get you to find out where all these things are and what they do for you. Okay, so that's why I loved what Jerome and Robert did today, because it forced you to kind of look at your organ and go, oh, I have to figure out where the FX is to go in and make that saxophone do some crazy things. So yeah, that's what this is for, to get you to push the buttons on your instrument. All right, if you have a fanfare or a journey, the reason your presets look as crazy as they do is because you only have 8 presets. All the rest of these have 10 presets. So in order to get them to fit in, some of the places I had to do some, instead of doing a complete preset, I'm just having you do a 1-button touch. And then you would skip that preset and move on to the next. So I am going to give you presets where they belong for the A and E organs. And then if you've got a fanfare, and I want you to write them in pencil lightly, because if you have a fanfare or a journey, you're going to change some of them. And Robert, if you can just put up the fanfare journey presets. You see where it says A3? You know, A1's good. You got to set that up. A2, A3. When you get to A3, it also says A4. So in the spot where I'm telling you A4 on your music, you're just going to write touch organ ensemble button. You're just going to write in the directions. Then when you get to A5, you're going to change A5 to A4. And you're just going to do the first thing for A5. And then where it says A6 in the music, you're going to write in directions, touch organ ensemble. Where preset A7, where I tell you to make A7, you're going to write in A5. Where it says A8, you're going to write in A6. And the reason I had to do that was to compress it for your fanfare and journey, because you only have 8 presets. So I wanted to make sure that you got everything in there. These are some of the things that I want you to go through and try, and if you struggle with them, bring them to the session next Saturday, and we'll go over all of these. We'll go over all of these. Now, for those of you with smaller instruments, I did not forget about you. So go to the easy one, where I have the presets, and I'm going to tell you where they are in the music. You're just going to write in the directions, what you're supposed to do. Most of them are one-button pushes. And you're just going to write. Where A3 is, you're just going to write add harmony. So you're just going to, boom, go over here and push your add harmony. Some of these things you may not want to even do, so you do the ones that you want. But where the A3, A4, A5, where they are in the music, that's going to tell you where to actually make those changes. And then you just write in your music what you're going to be doing. Questions about that?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Even though I have a Yamaha, I have 10 positions on that Yamaha.
Okay.
So I would just leave these the way they are and just,
Absolutely.
convert what I need to in order to make it sound like they are.
Absolutely. Then you just use the first sheet. Absolutely. You just use
Okay.
the first sheet and make them fit where you need to have them fit. All right, before I tell you where all of these are, let's take a look at your music. And I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it, but before we play it, we're going to do the roadmap so you know where we're going. So you need your
Dawn?
highlighters.
Dawn,
Yes?
before you go on the one for the E series and A series,
Mhm.
on A4, you've got turn on orchestra 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then on A8, you've got turn on orchestra 4, but
Yes.
you don't turn it off anywhere.
Aha, you will. You will end up turning it off because A7, you have to press A2. And it was off on A2.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And is that the same for A7? You've got turn off alter style, and then A9 is also turn off alter style?
Yep, pretty much. See, you're figuring this out.
Okay.
But what it does is it just helps you to find where all these things are in your instrument. And a lot of it is just cut and paste. So I'll cut and paste something, but then I'll change up a few things to make it work.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, good question. Yeah. All right, so let's do where the roadmap is. And I like to use highlighters because we see the colors before we see where anything else is. So if you do all of page 1, all of page 2, page 3, at the end of the third line, you have 2 thin lines and some directions. It says DS Alcoda. So you want to make that a color. And you're going back to the silly sign. So now you're going to make the silly sign the same color. Where is the silly sign? Page 1. Page 1, top line. So your pickup notes are at the end of line 3 on the third page, and then you come back to the silly sign. Now you are looking for the 2 coda. So you want to take another color, and your 2 coda, all of page 1, page 2, at the bottom, you have, before the last measure, your 2 coda. So make that another color. And then make your coda the same color. And if you need to put 2 coda with an arrow forward, do it, because codas only send you forward. You never go backwards to a coda. Okay, I will play it, follow along with the roadmap, and then I'll tell you where all the presets go so we can make the changes. Okay, here we go. follow along.
Crowd is roaring.
The crowd is roaring. They're going crazy.
Yeah. So Don, just real quick,
Uh-huh.
going back to your highlighter, where was the yellow highlighter at?
Yellow highlighter or whatever color you want is
Second page?
third page,
Oops.
end of line 3.
Right here.
Right
Oh, this DS.
there.
Oh, that squiggly
Yeah.
thing. Oh, all that fancy
Yeah.
business.
DS
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Alcoda.
Oops. What is this thing doing? Give me a second.
Robert, you're having too much fun.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. Right here, you put it?
Right there. You want to put it right there.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, then you
then-
want to go all the way back to the silly sign and make the silly sign yellow as well.
Where is the silly
Page
sign?
1, top line.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what that thing was called. I didn't know it was called
It's
a
a silly sign. There is a name for it, but nobody knows it.
I know.
Nobody
I don't
cares.
like that name. Just right here is good?
That's good.
Okay. And then you said something about a green color.
Where the coda, where it says to coda,
Right here?
there. Yep. Make
Oh,
that
my
a green
goodness.
color or any
Yeah,
other
well,
color
watch
you
this.
want.
No, whoa, hold on. Hey, check this out. You ready?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, boom.
Woo! Bravo!
Saving it in real time here. Okay.
And then you do the coda. You also make the coda green so that you can know to coda, green goes to green.
Oh, there's another green?
Yeah, you gotta make the coda on page 3. You gotta make that green
hold
as
on.
well.
Let me get to it. All right, so I take this green
Uh-huh.
and I go down here.
To the coda.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Let me move that guy over there.
Perfect.
All right.
Mhm.
See,
Pretty cool.
I like coloring.
Okay, any questions about the roadmap? Nope. Okay. Now, let's put in where the presets go. And if those of you that have the A's and the E's, go ahead and write them in big. Those of you that have fanfares and easies, write them in kind of small so that you can just write in directions if you need to, or change the letter according to the sheet that you have for your own organ. All right, the beginning of the song, first of all, you want to write intro, and I put intro in parentheses because I'm not really doing an intro. I just played a chord to get it started. You want to play a C chord. It is in the key of C. You do not want to start with a D minor. You want to play a C chord, and that just gets your music going so that you can start with your no chord and By Now in New York City. Intro in C. And that's also where you want to put A1. And I use the word intro lightly because all I'm doing is just playing the first chord. A1 goes right there at the beginning. Okay, first page, the end of line 3 or the beginning of line 4. I chose the beginning of line 4 only because there's a rest there. That's where you want to put, keep going. Yep, nope, line 4, line 4, line 4, line 4. Cross out the C7 chord. You don't need it, throw it away. Because you're going to be going to presets, so you don't need the C7 chord. You're going to put A2 and A8, because remember, you're coming back there 2 different times. A2 and A8. Let's go to the next page. Second line, right after the first measure. And in Atlanta, Georgia, and before you go to that G chord, you want to put A3 and A9. And hopefully you guys
Would you say
heard
that again? Where were you putting it?
A3 and A9.
Where?
Second page, second line, end of the second measure.
Do I have it in the right place, Don?
Yes, you do. You've got it
All right.
perfect.
Look right there on the screen.
Yeah. At the end of line 2, make sure you do a fill-in or an FX.
Right here?
Yep.
Let me put that in there for you. Oops, text.
This gives
There we
Robert
go.
something fun to do.
Yeah. Right here,
Yep, that's it.
fill/FX.
FX, yep. Now at the beginning of line 3, you're going to put a 4 and a 10. A 4 and a 10. Remember, if you've got the smaller instruments, these are places where you're going to be doing a one-button push, and you're going to want to write in what you're actually going to be doing. Or not. Maybe you don't want to do what I said to do. That's fine, too. At the bottom of that page, right where it says to coda, the last measure, see where it says instrumental? Before you start the instrumental, you want to switch to A5. You can actually put that up a little higher. You can actually put it up higher, like right under the 2 coda. That's where I put it. Yep, that's perfect. A5. Because that is the instrumental part, and that's where we play the Floyd's pianos. All right, let's go to the 3rd page. Line 2, in the middle of the 2nd measure.
Right here?
In the middle of the 2nd measure, you want to put A6. Not at the beginning, in the middle. You want to play the C. Okay, now put it in the middle of the measure. Nope, there you go, right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You've got it. And
Were you in the armed forces?
Third line. Beat, 3rd measure, beat 2, right before your pickup notes. You want to put A7. Now put it right before your pickup notes. Beat 2. Yep, right there is good. That's good. Yep. And then your coda, because we've already used 10, we're going to go right back to A1. So you're going to put A1 for the coda.
Right above it is okay, or?
Above, you can put it on the right-hand side. Yep, just bring it down so people can see it. Yep, right there's perfect. Okay, last line. You're going to cross out the G7 and throw it away.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
And you're going to substitute an NC, no chord.
Just cross it off altogether.
Cross it out, and then put a no chord instead. Because remember, A1 did not have any drums. So when you do a no chord, it kills everything. So then you're just playing the notes by themselves.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then when after you play, you're going to play Merry Christmas. And then your left hand is going to play some notes. Going to play the Jingle Bells, right? This needs to come down just a hair.
So because I'm going to send this copy as a
Mhm.
follow-up, I'll make sure I got this all in the right places. So
Yep.
this is A1, right?
Yep.
All right, let me change the color on that. Put that to red.
Oh, he
Okay,
likes
intro
changing
with
the
the C
colors.
chord.
Yep.
Okay, there's another one. There, put that in red so
All
everybody
right.
sees it.
Very
That's
cool.
correct.
Very
Okay.
cool, yes.
Okay, and then everything else looks right.
Yep. Yep.
Guys,
A4, A10, yep. A5, perfect.
got some green squares, got some
Yep.
yellows.
That's it. A7, A1, no chord. Now, you want to write in the notes for Jingle Bells?
They're shouting yes here.
Okay. On the first line, and this is after you play the C in your right hand. On the first line, you're going to write E, E, E. Leave a little space, then do it again. E, E, E. Then you're going to leave a little space and do E, then do a G on the second line, then do a C down to the first line below the staff, then go up to the D, the first space below the staff, and then
Think I
one
lost
more
you.
E on the first line. And if you can't remember Jingle Bells, go back to your yellow book, E, 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 G, C, D, E. That's it. Yep, that's it.
E E E E E E E G C D E. How's that?
That's good. That'll work.
Those are the correct notes?
Yep, those are the correct notes. You got it.
Okay. I'm going to leave that up for the screen. Those are the notes, guys and gals.
Okay.
All right. You're hearing it live right here on Virtual Holiday Music Camp. All right.
All right. Now, normally what I would do is I would sit here and tell you everything that I did. All right. But we are running out of time, and I do have another song that I have to give you. So this, again, is something that just follow what's on the sheets. Let's go through some of my hand scratching so that people who don't normally have me for class, you know what I'm trying to say. Easy country with alter style at 80 beats a minute. That's your tempo. RP/VIN means rhythm preset or normal if you're on an Imperial or a Palladium, or vintage if you are on an Inspire, Rialto, Marquis, Grand Marquis Aria. So RP, rhythm preset, VIN, that's so that you can just get the different verbiages from the two organs. 0, and if you don't know what it is, I give you the sound so you can double check. It's a country guitar on top and a harmonica on the bottom. And then you just follow the directions. Drums volume to 0. Red orchestral. The A organs have orchestral in red. The Inspires and the Inspires and the Rialtos and the Marquis and Grand Marquis, they just have 2 sets of orchestrals, 2 sets of solos in squares. So yes, it's a different, I like Robert's word, cosmetic on the organ. And so when it says red, you don't worry about the red, you just go to an orchestral. The 1s and the 2s are all the same. Now when it says gen or sound, that's genius. Because some of the organs say genius, which are your programmable buttons. Some of them only say sound. And again, it's the different verbiages on the 2 different organs. Blues solo 1 and 2, you're going to change those. I gave you the numbers. Do you remember how easy it is to change numbers? You go to your keypad, you scroll to number 32 on the keypad, and you put it in that genius. And all of a sudden, that genius becomes bells. Now remember, if you do it in Genius 1, and you do it again in Genius 2, if you're on an A organ, you have to push them both together to send them both to the lower right. So you can't just push one and then push the other. You have to make sure you turn them both on to send them both to the lower right. It's
Is
easier
this the
on
right
the
page you're
Marquis.
on?
I'm still on A1.
But is this the right page, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So
Yep.
this is the page she's referring to, just to make sure you all have it. Okay. All right.
And then 2 LR is lower right, and then lower octave on. Those probably already were on. I'm just double checking. Check that your lower harmony is off. When you
Yeah,
edit style is pretty easy. Just turn off orchestra 2 +2 and orchestra +4. And then you save it. And Jerome gave you the perfect way to save. Memorize, letter, number, yes, memorize. And it's all written down, and I'm going to borrow that forever.
Dawn, I have a question.
Yes, Dan.
I always ask this, chord changes.
I am not doing any new chords. The chords that are here are it.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. Country music usually is pretty easy. It's usually C, F, G, and sometimes D, and every now and then they throw in a minor chord. So it's just the chords that are here, keeping it really simple to play. So are there any questions on my my way of writing things. Because I know most of you get my stuff all the time and you know what they mean. Some of you have never seen this before and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Hey, Dawn, I have one quick question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
On third page where that first measure, F, that's played with an E and it doesn't sound good to me. Is that
I
correct?
know, it doesn't. But the E is actually, a major 7 part of that chord. It doesn't sound exactly right to me either. If you want to change it and make it something different, go ahead. If you want to make it an F, make it an F.
That's what I thought. Make
If you
it
want to
an
make
F.
it an F, make it an F. If that pleases your ears better, do it. Do it. There's nothing that says, "Oh my God, I have to play that note and my ears are going to bleed." Change it to something that works for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? This is just a nice country song. It makes you feel all warm and cozy, makes you feel down home. Like I said, get out your hot chocolate and put some schnapps in it. It'll make you feel good. Might even make you play better. I did several things for the fanfare and the journey. Fanfare, I used Country Full Band Group 2. The Journey, I used Crazy Country. But basically, all the stuff that I did was the same. It worked pretty much the same. The easies, I did make sure that I checked. It's Country Full Band. Just follow the directions here to set up A1. And A1 is just setting up your first part to play. And then where it says A2 in the music, if you want, you can add drums volumes up to the top. Now, that's hard because that takes a little bit of time. Put your drum volume up to the top right off the bat at the beginning of the song. Why not? Do what's going to make it easy for you. At A3, add harmony. You have to know where your harmony is. Some of you have to set your harmony. What do you want to set it at? Do you want to set it at duet? Do you want to set it at trio? Do you want to set it at AOC? And sometimes you have to preset your harmony before you touch it. So make sure that you know what you're doing. And then you just write it in where it says A3 in your music. A4, it says add organ button. If you add the organ button, it'll probably add some strings. A5, touch the piano button. Turn off the organ button. A6, add the organ button again, which means you're just going to add some strings. You might want to make a note of that. When it says add organ button, I'm asking you to add strings. For those of you in the real little instruments, your organ button only has organs. So in that case, you want to make sure you do a double punch and you add what you have plus the strings. Touch your guitar button, turn off the organ button, and then just play it an octave higher. That's all that means. You don't have to. You can try some of these, see what works for you. You don't have to do them all. And just play the song the way it makes you feel comfortable. But what this does is it just gets you comfortable pushing the buttons on your instrument. That's what these were designed to do. They're just designed to get you comfortable with where the buttons are. And I think even Daun, who's got a whole different Yamaha, he's making this exactly about that. He's learning where things are on his instrument and which buttons to push to make the arrangement his own. And that's what it's all about. It's just getting comfortable with where your buttons are. Questions about Christmas in Dixie? I know we did this kind of fast, and that's just because I'm doing a second song. All right, so now I'm going to do Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. This one technically only has 2 presets, and I'm just going back and forth between the 2, and I just lined them up in a row. All right, so I will play Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. There is a little bit of a road map. And the one part you're going to question me is when we get to the end of the first ending, I am going to the intro, but I'm only playing a A2. I'm only playing the A2 part. I could have written it out again. I just didn't have the, I just couldn't do it. All right, so here we go. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. 2 presets, and what we're looking for is you finding your bells. Your bells. That's what this is all about. And we're starting with both hands on the top keyboard, and we're going to do arpeggios. And arpeggio is when I have that squiggly line with the arrow on top, and I'm actually putting both hands on the keys, and I'm doing G, B flat, D, G, B flat, D, and then I'm going to roll my fingers up. Okay, but I'm going to do them quite fast. So that's what that's actually doing. Next preset. Okay, now you can make this one, thank you, you can make this one as easy or as difficult as you wish. That's what's cool about this one. So it can be easy, it can be hard. Okay, but there's only 2 presets. I just lined them right up. So A1 is actually, those of you who have it, you know A1 should be written right on there. A1 is that first part where I did my arpeggios. A2, that section is the one that I actually repeated.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's the one that I actually did. That's also a little insert that I did after the first ending. I played that part again. I just played that part. That part. And that's just 4 measures, and if you want, you can make that a color. That can
And
actually...
Don, I'll need a copy of that.
Yeah, can we get a copy of that?
I thought I sent it.
No.
Oh,
didn't?
that's okay.
Wow.
They'll get it now.
Nope, he didn't send it.
No.
Oh, well, you'll get it. I thought I sent
Wonder
it.
why I was confused watching.
Oh, okay, because you're
We
going to
can't
get
give you everything
A1,
all at once.
A2,
It
yep,
helps though.
yep. A3 is going to be the beginning of the music that you have. At the end of the first ending, you could put A4, and A4 and A2 are going to be the same. Let me make a note of that. A2 and A4.
All right, so I'm going to make some notations on this music. And then when I get, I might have overlooked it because I got so many emails, but when I get it again, I will, is this the right song? No. Where is it?
And then A5 also goes at the beginning again. So you're going to have A3 and A5 at the beginning of the song.
All right, so let me put the music up. Let
It's
me get
basically
my-
just 2 presets.
All right, so A1 here,
No, A3,
A3,
and A5.
A5.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
And
then on
then-
page 2,
Okay.
at the end of the first ending,
Mm-hmm.
A4.
A4. Anywhere here or?
Just at the end by the rest. Yep, at the end.
Okay.
Yep. And then you're going to go back to A4, which I'm going to give you. I thought I gave you that sheet. Oh my goodness.
You
See,
may
I-
have.
I made
Every
several
now and then I
mistakes.
make mistakes.
I do too.
Dawn, could you hold it up in the screen again?
Yes, can. Yes, I can.
Here, let me take this off first.
Okay.
There we go. Hold on.
Thank
Keep that
Thank-
right there. Keep that right there. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. I'm doing something. Keep it as steady as you can. I'll tell you when I'm done. I'm going to do this and that. I at least have a screenshot right now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you ready for this, folks?
I can.
Let's see if I can pull this up here. Okay, I gotta take that off.
I will scan that into Robert too. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, I apologize, because that's the fun part of the song, is doing those arpeggios.
Okay, let's see. What are you calling that? That's an introduction?
Yep, that would be the intro.
Sugar, okay, sugar. Oops. I'm trying to do this live here. Hold on. Sugar, plum, intro.
I thought we were just pulling it from your head.
Okay, sugar, plum.
I do also have
intro.
extra chords on this one. Now, do you need to play any extra chords? No,
Yeah.
they are always optional. Always extra chords are optional. But I will tell you this. They will make your song sound better. So I'm going to give them to you. And you noticed I played them full fingered. You don't have to. You could play them all easy play and make them work for you, and it's absolutely fine. But my fingers are just used to doing that in full fingered chords. So
Dawn,
yeah.
the extra notes that you added in the lower keyboard, are you giving those also?
Yes, I have to give those as well. Yes.
So look
Okay.
at that. Is that what you just showed?
That's what I just showed.
Look at that, folks.
Wow.
You got it there, at least for now. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
Now, if there's anybody on a computer right now,
I am.
I can put that screenshot in a chat here. And so if you have it on the chat here, I'm going to attach it to the chat, and then you can print it out right from there. Oh my goodness. You don't say, Robert. Yes, I do. And let's see, here we go, screenshot. So if you have a computer, in the screen, in the chat, I just uploaded it there.
I don't get it from there.
But I'll send it out this Sunday with all the other materials.
Good.
But
Cool.
her scanned version will be better than mine.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Extra chords. Why?
Because you can.
Because I can. Yep. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Inez.
This is going to be on the Sugar Plum music.
Yep. Extra
Okay,
chords
so
on
if
this
I
one.
go to this here and make it on the screen, they
Sure
can
you
see
can.
it.
Sure.
Okay, let me just pull that up. Is there
There's
a lot,
of
chords?
them though, so you better
Oh my
be
goodness,
fast.
I'll be fast. Okay, I'll
Okay.
put them in. There's 2 pages, right? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going
Page
to do
one.
it in blue colors here. So
Line 1, the D minor chord is good for 3 counts. Over the E, put a G minor, gorilla minor. For those of you who really like to make it advanced, you can make it a G minor 6. Remember, that has to be in root position. And your notes would be G, B flat, D, E. All right.
G,
Next measure.
say it again, G.
G, you're going to run out of room. B
Okay.
flat, D, E.
Wait a minute, that's a
G, B flat, D. Forgot the D. E. Yep,
Is it D or D flat?
it's regular D. It's a G minor 6. That's right. Okay, now over the C sharp, you're gonna want to put a C sharp diminished. C sharp diminished is C sharp and G. It's always the letter plus 6.
I think I'll just write the chords now.
Uh-huh. And if you want to play it as a 7 chord, please feel free to do so. That's a 4-fingered chord. Over the D, put a D diminished. D diminished is D and A flat, the letter plus 6. Or if you want to play that as a D diminished 7, go ahead. Again, these are questions for your PA or for me next Saturday. Over the very first C, beat 3, put a D7. D7.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. Now these are optional chords.
They're all optional, absolutely. Keep it as easy as you need it to be. Second line. First measure, first beat. Over that very first beat, put a G7, gorilla 7.
Say it again.
G7, first measure, first beat. Gorilla 7, yep. Third beat, over the very first B flat, put a C sharp diminished. C sharp and G.
Right here.
Yep.
C
C
sharp.
sharp diminished. Next measure, first beat, over the A, put a D minor, dinosaur minor. Beat 2, over the B flat, put a G minor or a G minor 6. Those 6s are a little bit hard, so if you don't want to play it, just play the G minor. Beat 3, over the A, put a D minor. You can just put a little M. You didn't have to put the
Mhm. Well,
D minor.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I got my diminishing minor.
Yeah, I know. I noticed.
All right. Oh, that's a G minor 6. Sorry.
Yep. Now I've got
All right.
extra notes. Do you want me to do the little extra notes now, or do you want me to do all the chords first?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Oh,
any
cool.
Do the chords first.
Do the
chords
chord.
first? Okay. All right. We'll do it like we normally do.
Yeah, do
Line
the chords. I'm on a
3.
roll.
Cross out the G minor and replace it with B flat, butterfly flat. For 2 counts.
B flat.
B flat.
So,
Yep.
real quick question, Dawn.
Huh?
So if someone's not using the chords, the additional chords, they would just leave that as a G minor?
They just leave it as a G minor, correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna, for this, I'm gonna leave this,
Put it in
like-
parentheses. Yeah.
I'll do it like that.
Okay.
So anything that's in blue when you get this copy is the optional chords.
Okay. Beat 3 of that measure over the F, G minor. Put your G minor back in, or G minor 7 if you wish. Next measure. Next measure over the B flat, put a D minor, dinosaur minor. The E7, that is optional. If you want to substitute either an F diminished or a D diminished. Same chord, actually, just different bases. Or add the 7. Yep. All right. Last line. The first measure, no changes. Oh my goodness. The A is good. Measure 2. The A is good for 1 count. Over the D, put an E or an E7.
Over the which one?
You put a wow over the D, beat 2. No, in the
Oh.
next measure.
Oh, there was no changes.
No,
Okay.
no. Second measure, the A is good for 1 count. Over the D, put an E7.
Over this one?
Nope, next measure.
Oh, this one.
No, that measure. Over the D,
E minor?
over the D, put an E or an E7, elephant 7.
You better do
Okay,
more.
I'm sorry. All right, let me just back up because I have the crowd talking to me too. So
Funny.
starting on this line here, no chord changes here,
No chord change on the E7. Now the A is fine for 1 count.
right here.
Over the D, put an E7.
Okay.
People are not gonna
E7
know.
or E7? E7?
E7, elephant 7. There you
Okay.
go. Over the C sharp, put an A. Alligator.
I think Robert should take one of your classes.
I think she.
I think.
Not
Oh.
an A7, just an A. Not an A7, just an A. Thank you. Let's go to page 2. All right, this pretty much repeats what we did before. The D minor is good for 3 counts. Beat 4 over the E, put a G minor, gorilla minor, or it can be a G minor 6. Okay, over the C sharp, put a C sharp diminished.
The sharp, you say?
C sharp diminished, yes. Over the D, put a D diminished. Now remember, these can be 7s, but I'm not going to even make Robert put those in there. Over the C, put a D or a D7.
D or D7?
7. Yep, just put a D7. Okay, let's go to the next line. Beat 1 over the B, put a G or a G7.
This one?
Yep. Beat 3 over the B flat, put a C sharp diminished.
Say that again.
C sharp diminished over the first B flat.
Okay, right there. C.
C sharp diminished.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Next measure. Over the first A, put a D minor, dinosaur minor. Over the B flat, put a G minor or a G minor 6.
The B flat?
Yep.
Okay.
Over the A, go back to the D minor.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next line. The E7 is good for 3 counts. Over the C sharp, put an A or an A7. Alligator 7. All right, the D7 is good for 3 counts. Over the B, put a G or a G7. Last line. The C7 is good for 3 counts. Over the A, put an F.
Oh, what?
An F, fish.
F.
Yeah.
F.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Now you're going to do press stop at the end of the second ending. Press stop. Because you just want to do a, or you could do an arpeggiated chord under that D minor, but you're just going to press stop.
Just press stop right here.
And at the end of the second ending. The end
Over
of the
here?
second ending. Yep, press stop. Yep.
Is that a good place for it?
Yep, that's fine. Everybody will
Okay.
know where. Yep.
Don,
Yeah.
you said to go to 8-4 at the end of ending 1, and then right at the beginning, you're going to A5 immediately?
Yep. Yep. Because that A4 is just a repeat. I told you this is basically only 2 presets. One preset is for just that one section that you don't have yet, where you did in the screenshot now. It's just for that one section, that part,
Oh, okay.
because that's the pizzicato strings. Now, for those people that don't have those, you can play those on the regular bells. It's not going to sound the same. If you have the 2 keyboards and you can put bells here and pizzicato strings here, then you don't even have to worry about it. You just put one sound here and one sound here, and you just move your hand from spot to spot.
Where does A2 go?
A2 goes on the sheet
Ah,
That we don't have.
that you don't have yet, that I thought you
Okay.
did.
Dawn,
thought-
I ask you a
yes.
question?
Yes.
On the first sheet, the third and the fourth line, those
Uh-huh.
last 2 measures,
Mhm.
could you repeat those last 2 measures? The last measure in the third line and the last measure in the fourth line?
Okay, the
those
last measure in line 3, actually,
Yeah.
Robert can just flash them up there, because if he's written them in right, they should be right. The last measure in the
Yeah,
third
D-
line of the second
D-
page is D7 and then the G7. That's the
Mhm.
second page.
No, first page.
First page. Go to the first page, Robert. There you go.
Page D minor.
D
and
minor or an F and then an F diminished or a D diminished.
Oh, okay. And then in the last, oh, I see. Okay. So there's an A over the C sharp. That's what I missed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, now extra notes. And the extra notes are 16th notes, and they are a bassoon. Now, for those of you that only have 2 sounds that you can deal with, don't worry about it. Or, pick the bassoon and skip the pizzicato strings, So the bassoon is what's actually playing those things.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you got to get back up here. So these are the challenge notes. And they are 16th notes. Okay? So when you're playing, it's going to be yeah.
What
Those are
measure?
a challenge. So where that rest is, you're going to have 4 notes. And where the rest is at the beginning of line 3, you're going to have the last note. So it's a 5-note stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every time. And the first one is hard because you're going to end with your thumb on a black key, which I always tell you never to do. But it works. That's the only way I can make that one work. But here's your extra notes. Line 2, end of line 2, where that quarter rest is, you're going to write in D, C, B flat, A, and then on the first note on the next line is an A flat. And if you really want to write them all together so you know where they actually go, whoops.
Play those notes again. Let me get it on the music.
In the quarter rest, and they're 16th notes. Now you know what 16th notes are. It's the stem with 2 flags. So
What-
they go fast.
What line again?
Line 2,
On
That
the
last
second page?
first page,
Oh, first page. Line 2.
where that quarter rest is. You're going to have
Right
4
here?
notes. Yes, D, C,
Okay.
B flat, A.
Let me just put those in there.
Okay.
and I'll put them in black so they don't get confused with anything else.
But it's the lower keyboard.
Okay. So you put lower keyboard.
Or put them in a different color so they know that it's a different.
How about a different color?
Yeah. Put them in purple or something.
How about purple?
There you go.
I was thinking that. I'll just write right here, lower keyboard. And what are the
D,
notes?
C,
E,
D, dinosaur.
sorry, D,
C, chicken. B flat. A. And then you go to the third line, first beat,
And put the A flat.
and
Over
put the
here,
A
you mean?
flat. Yes, now you're going to put the A flat there in
Okay.
purple.
Oh,
So those 5 have to go. So that's your timing. It's going to be 4 on that top
There we go. You got it.
one. Yep. Now that was a very hard passage for me to actually play. And then you have to get back up here to play quickly.
Okay. There, I put it in there.
At the end of the page, you have another quarter rest. You're going to have 4 notes at the bottom of the page in the quarter rest, and your last note is going to be at the top of the page of page 2. And your notes are
Where am I
bottom
at?
of page 1.
Bottom of page 1, sorry.
Yep.
Here we
Quarter
go.
rest.
Okay.
Again, it's going to be lower keyboard. Make them all in purple. And your notes are different. The notes are A, alligator. G, gorilla. F, fish. E, elephant. And those are all 16th notes. Again, you put the stems on them and double flags. Double flags. And then your top line of the second page, in that very first beat, you're going to put a D dinosaur. So your 5 notes. And again, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're just pretty much rolling your hand right down.
I got one of these letters wrong. A, G.
A, G, F, E.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
F, typo. F, E. There we go.
And then D on the top of them. There you go. Okay.
I almost typed them as fast as you played them.
Line 2, end of the line. You're going to do this again, but different notes. In that quarter rest, you're going to do 4 16th notes. Lower keyboard on the bassoon. F, fish. E, elephant. D, dinosaur. C, chicken. And again, those have the double flags. Those are 16th notes.
All right,
And
say it
the
again.
last-
F,
F, E, D, C.
F, E, D, C.
And the first one on line 3 is going to be a B butterfly. So again, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you got to get right back to that top keyboard. So it's an advanced skill, and I worked hard on learning how to do that. This is, if you love the song, practice it. It's fun. And that's it. That's
There
it
you
for
go.
those extra notes.
Not a bad.
But it's fun to play, but it's really only 2 presets. So if you just want to set up 2 presets and just go back and forth between the 2, go ahead and do that. If you don't want to do that, just line them up in a row so that you have 5 presets going. Because basically that's all it is going back and forth. So that when you get to that first page, you're on the 3rd one or the first one. So it's
Was
a
that
challenge.
was that preset A1?
That was actually A1 or A3 or A5 because that was just cut and paste. Yep. So A1 is the one that takes the longest to set up, And then A2 is the one that gives you those pizzicato strings. And if you don't have pizzicato strings, then you want to follow the other sheet. Or if you don't have 2 keyboards, then you just want to follow what I have here. And you want to get your bells. The most important thing is to get your bells. On the Freedom 3, it actually was pretty good with some strings added. I thought that worked out really well. And then your octave duet, or just a plain old duet, depending on what you have. Try some of these things. It's a place to start. It's a place to start. You may say, oh, I want more of this. I want more cowbell. Whatever it is that you want more of. Go ahead and change it.
Dawn,
It's a place
where
to
did
start.
where did you put A2?
A2 is on this sheet.
The sheet we don't have.
Correct. The only time you ever use that is on that.
Okay.
Yep.
What does A4 do?
A4 repeats A2. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it just gives you this. That's it. That's all it is. It's the pizzicato strings.
Thank you.
And it's
Don,
just
this
for-
is Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Hi. So we actually start on A1. I mean, we do the sheet and
Yeah.
then A1, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the beginning.
Yep.
Okay.
Because-
And then when we get down to A4 at that repeat,
Mm-hmm.
then we go back up,
You're,
right?
you're basically
A5.
just using 2 presets. You're using the first
Yeah,
preset.
A2.
Yeah. You're using the first preset for these. You're using the second preset for these. You're using the first preset again for the body of the song.
Yeah.
You're using the second preset again just for the little interlude between the first time you play it and the second time you play it. And it's only 4 measures. So there's really only 4 measures that you use that A2. And A2 and A4 would be exactly the same because all you're doing is cutting and pasting so that they're right in a row so you can just use your foot and go forward.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. I hope you guys like this song.
I do. I love it.
It's fun to play. It's fun to play. The extra chords, you can play them easy play style. You can play them full fingered chords. Make it as challenging as you want. It's a fun song to play. It puts you in the mood. I mean, this is Tchaikovsky. This is good stuff. This is
Dawn,
yeah.
this originally was written for the celesta.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the organ has that. I'm sure it does.
It has
This is probably
celesta
the-
bells. It
it's
has
probably-
celesta bells.
Oh, really? It doesn't have
Yeah.
a celesta.
So
That's
if
interesting.
if you're on the A organs and I go to my bells, number 3, it actually says, why can't I see it? It actually says bell celeste.
Really? Because I had I don't know, it was one of those, it was one of the ones of 2000, the big one. And it had celestas on it. And it actually had a recording of this. on
Oh,
it.
wow.
And there was
Oh,
a celesta on it. So I'm just wondering if I have the aria, so I'm wondering if the celesta is on the aria.
It
I'll
may
find
be,
out.
but the bell celesta is the
It
closest.
sounds very
I could-
good.
It's the
It's on
closest I
there.
could get. So it's your bell category number 3.
Right.
Yeah, it's
I got
it's
it.
on there.
Yep.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And all this other stuff as far as graphic mixer, this and that, don't worry too much about it on either song. It's basically, I had to put everything on a Prestige, and I think Jerome said it too. When you put it on one organ, it doesn't always translate exactly the same on another organ. So sometimes levels, you have to change the levels to your taste. So what's on here is to just get you to find where your graphic mixer is. It also is so that you can find where your levels are. When it's all said and done, if you do it exactly like this, you may not like the levels because it may not translate to your particular instrument exactly the same. I found it to be true from the Prestige to the Imperial. as far as the volumes go. But as long as you know where the volumes are and what they're pertaining to, what part of the instrument is it pertaining to? Is it pertaining to my stuff going on in my edit style, or is it pertaining to a sound, or is it pertaining to my Orchestra Plus? You know, it really, if you know where those levels are pertaining to, now you can fix your own levels and balances. So that's what this is designed to do. It's designed not so that you can play my exact arrangement. It's designed so that you can learn where the buttons are on your instrument. And yeah, once again, thank you to Robert and Jerome for this fabulous sheet, because I'm borrowing it. So that when it comes to actually saving presets into the organ and then saving to the USB, it's all in writing and I don't have to do it. Thank you. That's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Any questions?
Daun,
Yes?
where you're saying turn on Orchestra 2 and Orchestra 4, that's confusing me.
Okay,
With it-
Brenda, when you touch the top of your screen, you come to a page that says Edit Style.
Okay,
Okay, and it'll say either Genie or Basic, and then it will say Orc plus 1, and in this case it says Orchestral Flutes. Orc plus 2, because I'm in Jingle Jangles. Orc plus 2 is this. What are those? Well, that's actually the sounds that are in your Basic or Genie, and then it's taking your Orc plus button and splitting it up into individual instruments.
okay,
So you can actually take some of those out or even change them. If you touch the first column, if you touch where it says Orchestral plus 2, it'll say off. If you touch the off, it'll bring it right back on. If you touch the sound and turn it blue, now you can scroll and make a different sound. Ooh, in the same slot. So we don't have enough time to get into that, but that's what that's all about, is just taking your Orchestra Plus and it divides it into 3 or 4 or sometimes even 5 different sounds, and then you can pick or choose, do I want all of them? Do I want to eliminate some? Do I want to change some of them? Or the last column is the volumes of those sounds, so that if it says 100, that means they're all up to the top. Well, you might like them, but you might want to lower just the harp and castanets. You know, you might want to just lower those. So that's what that's about.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, those are the kind of questions that next Saturday at 1, Florida time, you know, come and join me and ask the questions. Go try on your organ now so you know where they are. And if you're still questioning, then we'll do it again next Saturday. Or go to your favorite store, and I know you're not very close to anybody where you are. And we'll show you how to do that again. So repeat,
Okay.
repeat, repeat. That's the best way to learn.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Robert, you got anything to say if there's no more questions?
I do. But I do have a question. So you recorded that song and the Christmas in Dixie and I think one other. Were you using your presets to record the song?
Yes, sir, I was.
So I'll tell you
Hello.
about that in a second, folks. All right, let me steal the screen and that'll give you a minute to prepare for your closing song, whatever that is going to be. And I still veto the Christmas version of Marianne that you were going to play. So
Oh,
you're going to have to choose something else. Everybody
Okay.
wanted to play Marianne and
Oh.
Christmas bells. And I said,
Yeah.
no way, no
yeah,
how. Okay, one last thing. So first of all, thank you all in virtual land and everybody out there for joining us for our first ever virtual holiday music camp. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
because it's been a long
I
2
don't know.
days.
I don't know why I'm talking like this. So my goal, if everything goes to plan, is I'm going to have all the classes where I need them to be. I'm going to work on this tonight and tomorrow, and I'm going to have an email, follow-up email on Sunday that will give you links to all of the classes that were recorded, but only you will receive it in the email. Any updated materials. And then I think the only thing I need from you, Dawn, is that one sheet.
The one sheet. Okay.
So she'll send me that today or tomorrow, which will be fine. And any of the updated materials, we kind of been mentioning, like I had some that was actually filled in, Jerome's, and I think Joni's as well, and then this sheet here. So that will be in that email. It'll say updated, what have you. They'll have the links to all the classes. By next Wednesday, all of the stores will have their USBs to put everything that's all of the materials and the recorded songs on there. Now, I said this earlier. If the artist, every one of the artists that were participating, they recorded the songs from the classes, and then some of them did an extra one or two. Dawn recorded the song she featured today, and I just found out, I caught it live right here, that she used her presets to record those. So guess what? If you take that USB that you'll inevitably get and you load song presets, you can get her presets directly into the instrument. So she didn't have to go saving them. They're already there because it's in the recording.
Yeah, but that's not the object of it. The object is to push them yourself so you can figure out where stuff is.
Yeah, I've done enough work. All these letters on the music. I just I had one too many diminishes for me.
Yeah.
It diminished me. You would have stopped on the third one, I would have been okay.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding. So, but anyway, but here's the other cool thing too. Here's what I like to do. Because sometimes I get those setups, what I'll do is I'll load them in, and then on another bank, I'll put them to myself and see how similar they are to each other.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
So
too.
anyway,
Yeah.
or sometimes I'll take their presets and then I'll kind of tweak them to my liking. So you
That's
can all
good
do
too.
whatever you like with it.
Exactly.
But that's coming this weekend. And so with that said, without further ado, we'll have Dawn close off with another great holiday tune.
Okay, you guys, it's polka time. What better way to end this fabulous 2-day session than with a fabulous fun polka, which by the way is in song setup.
Round of applause. Oh my goodness. And she is getting a big round of applause. I think that's for Grandma.
Yeah, that's for Grandma.
Thank you for Grandma, Dawn.
Yeah.
Thank you for Grandma.
That's a fun way to end the event. Thank you so
Fun.
all.
Yeah.
And if you're ever chatting with Carrie, Joni, Joe, and Jerome, and of course Don, make sure to give them your praises because they work really hard to get all of this prepped.
Yeah.
Just one
So did-
session is tough enough. So
And
thank you so-
Robert,
Yeah.
you did a lot of work
Oh,
to get
my
this whole
goodness.
thing together so that we can enjoy this. Thank you,
Oh,
Robert.
thank you. Stop
Thank
it.
you,
Oh my
Robert.
goodness. Oh my gosh, you guys are too much.
Yes.
All right. So I'll make sure to get a link set up for next Saturday, and I'll send it out in an email, and that'll
Okay.
come probably in the middle of the week. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much. And
you.
see you real soon.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so
all.
much.
John.